Earlier this week, Aaron Glenn, the head coach with the New York Jets, he came out and he told reporters that Tyrod Taylor will be the starting quarterback for the foreseeable future. And when you look at Justin Fields, his career in the NFL as a starter may be completely over. Now, you go back to the 2021, 2022, and the 2023 season, you can make the case. He played for a bad organization with the Bears, and they never truly built a team around him. In year one, he did not start the entire season. Andy Dalton was a starter. You had Matt Nagy as a head coach. He was a terrible head coach. Terrible offensive line play when Justin Fields did come in. Did not have a true number one wide receiver. At that point in time, Allen Robinson was not the same guy. But Justin Fields gave him some good moments, especially on the ground. He could run around. He could make plays with his legs. And the deep ball was very decent, especially for a rookie quarterback. But give him some grace. It's just year one. So you go over to year two. Matt Eberflus is your head coach. Luke Getsy is your offensive coordinator. Terrible coaches, by the way. Luke Getsy is one of the worst offensive coordinators in NFL history. You still don't have a true number one wide receiver. Your offensive line is still abysmal. But Justin Fields, once again, has some bad moments, has some good moments. But the biggest thing here in year two with Justin Fields, he held on to the football for a very long time. He struggled against cover three. Even though he took a lot of sacks, and some of those sacks are on the offensive line, he would run himself into pressure. And he would hold on to the football for a very long time. He would create his own problems. But once again, a young quarterback, he's in year two, give him some grace. So you go over to year three in Chicago. Now the Bears here, they made a huge trade with the Carolina Panthers for the Panthers to move up and to select Bryce Young. They bring in DJ Moore. They bring in some picks from that trade. So now Justin Fields has a number one wide receiver his last year with the Bears. And the Bears, they have some good moments this season once again. Justin Fields goes down with a thumb injury, but the same problems that he had in year one and year two, he ran into them once again in year three. Holds onto the football for a very long time, goes blind against the blitz, could not read certain coverages like cover three once again and cover four. The one thing about Justin Fields, he didn't put the football in harm's way constantly this time around. He'll just take dumb sacks or he'll just throw the football away. And Tyson had to come in. He had to start some games as a backup quarterback because Justin Fields went down with a thumb injury. Now, the Bears end up with the first overall pick. The Carolina Panthers were the worst team in the NFL at that point in time. They have a huge decision to make. Do we go out there? Do we keep Justin Fields? Build a team around him? We have to exercise a fifth-year option very soon here. Or do we move on from him? We select Caleb Williams with the first overall pick. We reset our own clock. They decide to move on from Justin Fields. They select Caleb Williams with the first overall pick. They put better pieces around him. They go out there and they bring in Ben Johnson from this previous offseason. We all get that about the Bears. But instead of going out there and trading him into a bad situation, Ryan Poles wanted to do right by Justin Fields. He said that he was a great kid on and off the field. They never had problems out of Justin Fields. They trade him to the Steelers. Not a bad organization. A respected head coach in Mike Tomlin, easily the best head coach that he has played for in his career up to this point. Arthur Smith is your offensive coordinator. Arthur Smith is a weird offensive coordinator. He's not 100% terrible, but he's not a top offensive coordinator either. But once again, the best offensive coordinator that he's played for up to this point in time in his career. But Mike Tomlin viewed him as a backup quarterback. They bring in Russell Wilson in free agency. Mike Tomlin was higher on Russell Wilson, and rightfully so, as a pocket passer. And Russell Wilson can make some moves in space. Now, he doesn't have the same wheels as Justin Fields at this point in time. We're talking about an older Russell Wilson here, who just got cut by the Denver Broncos. But long term, Mike Tomlin and a lot of executives around the NFL, they felt like, hey, in the right situation, if you can develop Justin Fields on the bench, he could be a very good starter in this league. So Russell Wilson is taking the first team reps. Justin Fields is working with the second team. Russell Wilson goes down with that calf injury. The only reason why Justin Fields started games last year for the Steelers is because Russell Wilson went down with that calf injury. And the offense was weird. They were very conservative. They did not fully trust Justin Fields in the offense, even though they had a winning record with Justin Fields. And a lot of people came out and they're saying, why are they benching Justin Fields for Russell Wilson? They're winning football games. Their pass game was still not good enough. It ranked near the bottom of the NFL in terms of passing yards per game. They did not trust Justin Fields with his accuracy to make tight window throws. So they ran the football and they won off their defense. They'll throw the football deep 2 or 3 times a game. That was it. But solely their offense was a bunch of dink and dunk plays down the field, run the football with Najee Harris and Justin Fields in the open space. As soon as Russell Wilson comes in, they're taking more deep shots down the field to Calvin Austin third, and the same with George Pickens. They didn't trust Justin Fields to do that on a consistent basis. And a lot of reporters at this point in time, they felt like Mike Tomlin was holding back Justin Fields. So the Steelers, they go 1 and done in the playoffs. They have a decision here to make. Do you bring back Russell Wilson? Do you bring back Justin Fields? Reportedly, they offered Justin Fields a contract extension. He said no. He wanted his own team. He wanted to be a starting quarterback from week 1 all the way to week 17. The Steelers, they understood that. So they waited for Aaron Rodgers. They bring in Aaron Rodgers. They still want to bring Justin Fields back, even if it was as a backup. But he said no. He goes over to the New York Jets, so it's hard for me to have full sympathy for him. You have already been placed into a bad situation before with the Chicago Bears. You come over to the New York Jets, they could not develop Zach Wilson, even though he's just a bad quarterback in this league. But look at what they've done to Sam Darnold in his career. The same with Geno Smith. The New York Jets have not truly developed a quarterback in many years now. And Justin Fields, who needs a lot of coaching and a lot of talent around him, he comes over to this team. Now you have Breece Hall, a very good running back, Garrett Wilson, a talented wide receiver, but it's a first-year head coach in Aaron Glenn. And you have Tanner, offensive coordinator. This is not a proven offensive coordinator either. So in this situation with the New York Jets, Justin Fields betted on himself. And I love when people do that. But just because you go out there and you bet on yourself doesn't mean that's going to work out for you in the long run. In week 1 against the Steelers, I would not take anything away from Justin Fields. He balled out. He was phenomenal in this game. He played well enough for them to win. He was 16 of 22, 218 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns, 48 rushing yards, 0 turnovers. And he only got sacked once. This is the best game of his career. He was phenomenal in this matchup. If Xavier Gibson did not fumble on the kick return, the Jets may have won this football game. Now, Aaron Rodgers did have the 4 passing touchdowns, but Justin Fields, whenever they needed a big play, here comes Justin. Did he miss some passes? Sure. But it wasn't game-crushing passes that he missed. And you have a lot of Jets fans hoping that this could be the game for Justin Fields. He could be their franchise quarterback. Now, the next week against the Buffalo Bills, he falls back down to earth. He was 3 of 11, 27 passing yards. Got sacked twice, had 50 rushing yards. He wasn't even able to finish out this game. He went down with a concussion in this matchup. But even before he went down, the passing numbers dipped, and he looked like old Justin Fields. Instead of capitalizing off what he did the week before, he goes back to being his old self, staring down wide receivers, not able to read certain coverages, getting overwhelmed by certain looks up front. He could not protect himself. Instead of sliding the protection to the left, he slides it to the right. It was the wrong read. He gets hit from behind. These are the same problems that he dealt with in year 1 with the Bears. You have to develop to the next level in this league. Now against the Miami Dolphins, once again, another good game for Justin Fields, 20 of 27. 226 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. He had 81 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown that went for 43 yards. Highlight moments. He did miss some passes in this matchup, but he wasn't the reason why they lost this game. They had a fumble in the red zone with the running back here. Justin Fields did enough in this game to defeat the Miami Dolphins. Now the next week against the Dallas Cowboys, they lost this game 37 to 22. He was 32 of 46, 283 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He had 26 rushing yards. This game got out of hand. But Justin Fields did rack up a lot of numbers when they were down big in this matchup. Early on, they overwhelmed him, once again holding onto the football for a very long time, missing wide receivers. When he tried to run outside the pocket, they had contained coverage on the outside. They overwhelmed him. And this is a problem for a quarterback that has been in the league since 2021. We're seeing quarterbacks in year 2 and year 3 of their career, they're taking these massive jumps. Justin Fields just hasn't. And this is a prime example of it. Now, when they face the Denver Broncos, this may be the worst game of his career. He was 9 of 17, 45 passing yards. He got sacked 9 times. They had negative passing yards in this game because of the sack yardage that he took in this matchup. And I place a lot of blame on the offensive coordinator in this matchup with Tanner, and the same with Aaron Glenn. After the first half, you take him out of that game. He was terrible. Staring down wide receivers, they take away that first read. He had no idea where to go. And that Broncos defense, they're one of the best defenses in the NFL. But at the end of the day, Justin Fields is a starting quarterback at this point in time in this league. You have to find ways to go out there and to beat that defense and to not have those negative yards. He got sacked out of field goal range. The Jets defense played well enough to win this matchup. If you go out there and you bench him, you put in Tyrod Taylor, you maybe go out there and you may win this game. But Justin Fields did not look good. It wasn't all on him, but majority of it was on him. You have open wide receivers and you're just skating backwards inside the pocket constantly. You're drifting outside the pocket. Stay within the pocket, stay within structure, and just deliver the football. And not every sack was on the offensive line here. Once again, he's running into the same problems that he had with the Bears and even with the Steelers, taking those dumb sacks. Now, against the Carolina Panthers, they did bench him. He was 6 of 12 for 46 passing yards. They put in Tyrod Taylor. Even though Tyrod Taylor had 2 interceptions in this matchup, the pass game looked better. The run game did take a step back. And part of that is because Justin Fields, defensive coordinators, they fear his legs. They would rather for the running back to pick up 5 to 6 yards instead of Justin Fields looping out and running for 50 to 60 yards. And he has that athletic ability. He has done that with the Bears. Look at what he did in week 1 against the Steelers. They had a hard time containing that zone rushing system with him and Breece Hall. They were so fearful of Breece Hall. Here comes Justin Fields. Now you put that attention on Justin Fields, Breece Hall. He can just make a defender miss in the open space. He's getting 5 to 6 yards a carry. So your run game is going to always look good with quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Justin Fields. They can run around and make plays. They take a lot of stress off the running back position. When you have someone like Tyrod Taylor, who's not a scarecrow inside the pocket, he can move around, but he doesn't have the dynamic rushing ability like Justin Fields. Your rushing game is going to take a step back. But in this case, I would rather for my run game to take a massive step back if my quarterback can just deliver some passes down the field. If he can work in between the middle of the field, splitting those safeties, Justin Fields just can't. And this was supposed to be the game to where they were done with, where they were going to be done with Justin Fields. You have Aaron Glenn, he's playing it coy. He's telling the media, well, I don't want to tell you who the starting quarterback is. We all knew that Tyrod Taylor was going to be the starting guy against the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, Tyrod goes down with a knee injury. Justin Fields goes out there the next week against the Bengals. He balls out. And this was a special game for the New York Jets with the recent passing of Nick Mangold. Rest in peace. But this was a perfect game for Justin Fields. But this is against one of the worst defenses in the NFL. But it was still a very good game for Justin. 244 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. He got things done. But against the Cleveland Browns, one of the best defenses in the NFL, he was 6 of 11, 54 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception. They won this game because their special teams and their defense, and this is the Cleveland Browns, they can't score points consistently. Whether it's with Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, or Shedeur Sanders at this point in time, they don't have elite offensive weapons, and their offensive line is abysmal. So their special teams went out there and they gave them the lead. They had 2 touchdowns on special teams in the kick return game. Justin Fields did little to nothing. And then the next week against the New England Patriots here, he's terrible. 15 of 26, 116 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. He did have a rushing touchdown. But the Patriots, they didn't sweat much. We'll give up the opening drive touchdown. That's what the Patriots always do. Then they make adjustments and they clamp down on your quarterback. And that's what they did. And they ran cover 1 defense. And Justin Fields could not beat it. at all. You can make the case that Garrett Wilson has missed a lot of time this season dealing with a knee injury, and they don't have a consistent number 2 wide receiver. That's all fair to bring up. But at the end of the day, Justin Fields chose to come over to this organization. Justin Fields can be a very good player in this league as a backup or as a low-tier starter. Imagine him with the Philadelphia Eagles. Great offensive line. Phenomenal run game with Saquon. 2 dominant wide receivers with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. That is the type of team that Justin Fields needs to be on as a backup. He's not better than Jalen Hurts right now. I don't think that he ever will be. If you put Justin Fields on a team that has elite weapons on the outside, a very good running back, and a dominant offensive line, he is still going to have problems in terms of reading certain coverages, moving off of wide receivers. He can't go from 1 to 2 to 3, and his progression's fast enough. His processing just isn't there. And some players that go in the first round at the quarterback position, they're not meant to be starters long term. And that's okay. They're meant to be backups. We've seen a lot of quarterbacks go in the first round. Within year 3 and year 4, we all know they're backup quarterbacks at the best. And I think that's the case here with Justin Fields. He will give you some splash plays. He'll give you some wild plays with his legs. He'll make the occasional deep ball that'll make you say, okay, Justin Fields can be a player in this league. But as soon as they run that quarters coverage on the back end, they have those linebackers watching out for him underneath with his legs. You take away that first option. He is who he is. Bad coaching has plagued him, yes, but we've seen a lot of players have bad coaching in their career and they bounce back from it. Now, there's a different conversation here with Justin Fields. We've seen quarterbacks like Daniel Jones be in a terrible situation with the Giants. He bounces over to the Colts. He's looked better. Better team around him, better playmakers. Baker Mayfield, bad situation with the Cleveland Browns. Goes over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He bounced around the NFL. To be exact here, the Browns pushed him out the door. Goes to the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers, they cut him. He goes over to the Los Angeles Rams. Then he bounces over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sam Darnold, drafted by the New York Jets. To be exact here, that didn't work out. They traded him to the Carolina Panthers. Had some good moments with the Panthers. Dealt with injuries. And this is the one thing with Sam Darnold that gets lost in translation with his comeback story. He wanted to be a backup. He went to the 49ers to work with Kyle Shanahan and Clint Kubiak. That did wonders for his career long term. He never got to sit behind a veteran quarterback or just a quarterback in general and just watch from the sideline. That can do wonders for you. Then he goes over to the Minnesota Vikings. He's a starting quarterback, has a career year. Now he's with the Seattle Seahawks. He looks pretty damn good. So I look at it from this standpoint with Justin Fields. You take that time. The next team that you go to, you should be a backup quarterback. If he goes to the Philadelphia Eagles, that's the best spot. That's a great organization. Learn behind Jalen Hurts and company. But it's also one other team that could bring in Justin Fields this offseason. And that's the Atlanta Falcons. It's home for him. He's a Georgia boy. Michael Penix Jr., he's going to miss the next 9 months, ACL injury. They're going to move off of Kirk Cousins sooner than later. They may give Justin Fields a cheap contract. He goes over there into that organization. Maybe they have a better coach. They may move off Raheem Morris and that current coaching staff. You have a top running back in Bijan Robinson, a very good wide receiver in Drake London. Offensive line is very solid. That could be a very good story for him. And even at that point in time, they may view him as a backup quarterback behind Michael Penix Jr. But regardless, Justin Fields should not be a starter in this league currently. Not saying that it's all over with, write him off. But he needs elite talent around him, and he needs to be better as a processor. That's the biggest thing here. The physical tools are there. He has the size, he has the mobility, he has the arm. The accuracy is a huge issue, but it's the progression with his reads. It's the processing. The way that a lot of people describe Lamar Jackson coming out of college, that is who Justin Fields is. He's a quarterback that can't process information that well at the NFL level in terms of reading certain coverages and moving off the first wide receiver to the third wide receiver. And if you are wondering about the contract with the New York Jets, it is a 2-year deal, $40 million. But if you look at the details in this contract, Essentially, it's a 1-year deal. After this season, there's no dead money on this contract. Why would they keep Justin Fields around? You just traded Sauce Gardner for 2 first-round picks. You traded Quinn Williams for a first-round pick and a second-round pick. They're going to move up for a quarterback of their liking this year, whether it's Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana, Ty Simpson out of Alabama. One of those quarterbacks are going to be on the Jets roster for next season. And Justin Fields will have a place in the NFL as a backup if he wants it. But let me know in the comment section below, is this over for Justin Fields as a starter in the NFL? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys to stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless.